you mentioned Dr. Farmer earlier, and I didn't want to interrupt the conversation that we were having before, but can you speak a little bit to Dr. Farmer and the impact that he had on Mary Washington? A lot of the students in my generation know him through the statue that's at
Mhm.
Mary Washington or the multicultural center that's named after him, but we didn't, I didn't know him. I didn't know
Yeah,
much
because
about him at all.
he was gone by the time
R-
you
Right,
got
but
here.
I'm just like I didn't know much about him at all. It was just a name that most of the
Right.
students knew, but I don't think knew much about. So can you just speak to him and sort of the impact that he had on Mary Washington and you as an individual?
Yeah. Dr. Farmer was an amazing individual. He was someone who, from the very youngest, stood out as an intellect, as a passionate and individual who believed in equality, who sacrificed his life to make a difference in the lives of others. And I just say that he was one of the big four. I mean, this is a person who worked with Dr. King.
Mhm.
This was the person who was with A. Philip Randolph. This was a person who was in the room when decisions were being made and who influenced policy and practice, who was responsible for the the rights that many of us enjoy today. I mean, if it were not for Dr. Farmer, I wouldn't have had entree to Mary Washington. Thanks for those individuals who were the leaders of the civil rights movement. He was one of those persons, and he was here. He was a professor here at the University of Mary Washington, someone that students had the opportunity to hear from directly as he spoke about his experiences, as he talked about being jailed, as he talked about being beaten, as he talked about the meetings with presidents and senators to influence policy changes, to talk about what he did within administrations to make sure that fairness and social justice was a part of discussions that were taking place. And having the opportunity to meet him and get to know him when I returned, because he wasn't here when I was an undergraduate, but he was here when I got back. But to meet him, get to know him, and to talk with him was an amazing gift. I mean, he was from Shirley Chisholm. I mean, all of these people who came to Mary Washington because Dr. Farmer was here. And I got to meet them because Dr. Farmer was here. It's just extraordinary. And his course was a very popular course. There's a reason that the auditorium in Monroe Hall is named for him. The university just renamed what was Trinkle Hall Farmer Hall in recognition of his leadership and the significance of his contributions, not just as a civil rights leader, but as an educator, because he did influence how students understood the history of this nation. His course is a very popular course. And I know when I do some of the social posts on social media about Dr. Farmer, I love seeing how our alums who had the benefit of taking his classes respond. And it's just amazing the things that they say. Everybody talks about that voice of his, that powerful voice of Dr. Farmer. I mean, you can just hear it anywhere he was in that big laugh that he had. But he was sincere that this was his opportunity to invest in future generations, the sense that they could continually work to make the world a better place. And everybody I knew who took his classes, that's one of the things that they say. I mean, he influenced not only the individuals who were part of the movement, but we are very thankful that because he was here, because he taught here, he influenced a whole new wave of individuals who continue to do work to make a difference. And today, I think we do a better job as a community and talking about Dr. Farmer, because he's not just the statue that's on Campus Walk. He's not just the building. He's not just the James Farmer Multicultural Center. He's not just the lecture hall. He's not just the James Farmer Scholars. He is truly representative of an institution that commits itself to educating individuals to change the world.